We've got the best minds in the business in the Triple M box to dissect the week in footy, what we're about to see tonight and tomorrow. And for the rest of the season, I speak of Chris Judd, who's just looking, a bit more laid back and casual and relaxed than he wore a three-piece suit in the first time he came in, Juddy. I think he's now realised he doesn't need to roll quite as sartorially splendid as that, and now it's just a jean T-shirt setup. Hello, Chris.
Hello, JB. Very good to be here.
Need to get to the bottom of what you did tonight too, because that is almost the greatest crime you can commit in the Triple M footy. We'll get to that in a moment. Hello, Purple.
Hello, Jim. And I think Chris didn't appreciate the Wolfpack giving him some honest feedback about how he looked, so he's just making it a bit more real these days, Juddy.
It's the Breakfast of Champions feedback, and I've taken it all on board.
And the Chief's never given a stuff what anyone thinks. Hello to you, Chief.
Hello, Jim. Hello, everyone. Looking forward to this one. Toss of the coin game. I will say this. When I saw the Duke wander in, is there a strut in his step?
Yeah.
Got a nice presence about him.
Walked into the room out there, and a lady handed him a coffee. It was ready and waiting for him. He just said, thank you. Kept walking. He is up and about, the boy.
Got a nice look about you, Duke.
There's always a strut in my step, Jim, so nothing has changed on that front.
No doubt. And the Bulldog bandwagon's been a pretty crowded place in the last 4 or 5 days. Everyone's jumping on.
It feels like the football world, if you're not associated to Chiefs Club and what they're trying to do, I think everyone... That one premiership, Jim, a long time ago, I think there's a fair bit of goodwill in the football world that maybe they get a bit of a break and things go their way.
Well, we will see all of that tonight, but we need to get straight to the elephant in the room, and that is that the car park passes here at the MCG. I don't get the hullabaloo about these, by the way, but there seems to be a lot of conjecture as to where they go and how they're distributed, Chief. But all I know is tonight... the two-time Brownlow medalist, former premiership captain of the West Coast Eagles, in possession of one.
Yep.
Very sought after on a Friday night.
Which in itself is an amazing thing that's happened.
Very sought after on a Friday night when there'll be 80,000, difficult to get a park anywhere else. You go straight in underneath. Then witnessed walking with a security guard, by the way, into the ground, having not used his pass. Now, Juddy, these are the most sought-after things. You could say to a commentator, I'll give you $1,000 cash or a car park pass, and they'll take the latter, and you haven't even used it.
Well, first off the bat, I'd like to thank the Triple M family for the car park pass. I think that's the most important thing I want to get off the off my chest.
Yes.
And technically, I did forget to use it tonight, Jim. I've had a lot on my mind and forgot to use it. I do feel for the Chief. I feel we're really starting to build a connection here.
Well, why is there a technical issue around this, Juddy?
Well, that's just the way, that's sort of the language I'm framing it with.
This is reprehensible behaviour. an absolutely unconscionable act. They are like hen's teeth, and you just whizzed it up against the wall, mate. You can't do that.
Well, I have seen the hurt in Chief's eyes.
Can
and
see
there's no debating that. And
Chief, I think more to the point that Juddy got one over you. You've been doing Triple M for 15 years, and you've had to go and park in the street.
No, I walked down.
You walked down.
I only get one every 6 weeks anyway, Warwick. So I value them when I get them. But such is the swagger of the new kid on the block. He can tear them up and flush them down the toilet, doesn't care. He thinks they grow on trees.
I drove down Swan Street on my way here, and I looked out the window, and there was a sort of pretty suave-looking bald unit walking away from the MCG. This is not that long ago, and I thought, geez, that looks a lot like
I went
Juddy.
to get a quick pasta before the game.
Is that where we're going?
Well, I had the option. I was on the phone to the big nose producer, Luke Tunnicliffe, as he's affectionately referred to, and was on my way here. He said, are you happy with your car park pass? In which I said, it's sitting at home. And I then had that decision, do I go home and forfeit my pasta or punch on through, grab the pasta and use my boyish good looks and charm to talk my way in, which is what I successfully did.
I do notice that he didn't try what he did last week.
That's it.
And that is lob up underground. Say, listen, I left my pass at home, but I actually do have one. Can I get in?
Is there any chance I can get in?
I think he's a little gun shy after getting moved away.
Chief, you asked Luke if he got a pass because he
gets
tried to make out as though he did, but we know he did.
The people's champ he referred to himself as.
Always out there. I like to get a feel for what's happening around the ground first, wander around.
On your kids and wife. Are you underneath this ground?
Catch up with a few people. I will be at the car park later on tonight.
You have a feel for one thing.
What's that, Joe?
Frightening.
You have come a long way from the South Adelaide bogan that slipped across to play for the Western Bulldogs. The last time you went out to the Whitten Oval, you lobbed in a helicopter. You're now living in
that was
Scotch
well
Hill.
received, by the way.
You're wearing gloves when you're hosting live television. You have changed a bit.
You wear sunglasses at nightclubs.
Mate, I know exactly where I came from. I just don't spend a lot of time there. Jim. That's just the way it is these days.